I'm Foals Errand. I don't know if you know me or not. I write on fiction. My main stories are Mother and Princess Celestia, Do You Have a Belly Button, and Tiny Twilight Tales. I specialize in fluff writing. It's how I don't know. It's the best ones I do.
I'm Brony Writer. I guess my most popular story
That's Fluffy.
That's
that's
fluffy.
fluffy would probably be Princess Celestia Gets Mugged, which is just a straight G-rated comedy, is all it is. But I have written a bunch of very cute characters, like little Joyous Blossom here, or the snarky foul-mouthed bat pony filly that TD ends up adopting. So yeah, I write fluffy, cute characters, but oftentimes not fluffy, cute stories to go along with the fluffy, cute characters. Not always, sometimes, but
And I'm Penstroke. I'm somewhat known for a particularly cute character I wrote, and who I then traumatized with a number of things, including near-death experiences of the mother figure. But yeah, I was trying to think if there's anything that I've done that's largely fluffy, and there's really not. I will include the fluffy, but the fluffy will have to be up against the cold hard steel of whatever else is going on. But yes, and so this is the Art of the Fluff panel, where we're going to discuss the fluffy and how it's so fluffy we could die. But also how that can be a strong contributing factor not only to your story and getting your readers something to root for, someone to connect to, but also giving you really strong story elements to explore as you either preserve or kind of rough up the fluff.
Because you can't just have a story that's just fluff. There has to be more to it, or other it's just like, what the heck is this?
It's like it's as unhealthy for you as a deep fried Twinkie.
Basically, I'll go with that.
that's still in the fryer.
No, that's perfect.
So we can start with a basic concept of what defines cute, and we'll start with there's of course the visual aspects. There's we have the cute little plushies. That plushie over there, I don't know. No, that face. That is a Miss Piggy face, and that scares
Look, I
me.
mean, just because you hear the Exorcist theme whenever you see this doesn't mean it's not cute.
But we got see, there's cute. There's cute in the plushies for the con stuff, and so it's easy to say what cute is in a visual sense. But writing cute can be a lot more difficult because you don't usually get that visual feedback of no.
$20 too.
It's a lot more difficult to describe Fluffy than it is to just, you look, you see Luna, you see Celestia, you think, aw, they're adorable. But when you're writing, you have to more go into a situation that makes the cute rather than the character themselves. For instance, in my Tiny Twilight Tales, the situation is that Twilight is 4 years old, she's mischievous, and she's Celestia's brand new student, and what she gets into is a lot of trouble.
And one of the things I find is the most defining factor of cute is a level of innocence to the character, because we generally associate cute with the very young or the very old. When it's the very young, it's she's so cute, she doesn't know how to wear clothes right, and so she's got this weird amalgam where she's got boots on her hands, and she's so cute. And then it can go on the other end of the spectrum where it's someone where you can find older people cute in that kind of really fluffy way, where it's like, oh, she's such a cute little lady and she's baking cuties, and that's because they're so sweet and caring and all that stuff, and a little cantankerous, just a little uncontrollable, and that's the other aspect of cute, is you can't really stop cute from being cute. Exactly. That's part of the reason why you can't stop it. But that's also part of the reason why we find it appealing and why it becomes an interesting aspect of any story.
You can take the cute away.
You can't take the cute away. It's difficult, though.
Well, that becomes a traumatic experience.
Yeah, that's a traumatic experience, and so.
we had the deep fryer reference. That's a good way
Yeah.
to take away the cute from something.
And deep fire.
That sounds like one of your stories if it was about Mr. Cake or something.
Mr. Cake's not cute.
I'm talking
Unless
about
you're that kind of thing. I don't. judge
I'm
Mr.
talking
Cake is
about
not
your
cute.
other stories of using the deep fat fryer to de-cute something.
Twilight fights Cheerly's class. Chaos ensues.
Something I don't know.
So I did do a story where Twilight walks into Cheerly's the schoolyard, and all of the foals of Cheerly's class surround her, and they fight. That's the whole story. They fight. They just
And is it an adorable
So-
fight?
no. It's actually. I never explained why they fight. I never explained what Twilight did to piss off the students so much that they all decided to attack her at once. But they fight.
So you're taking cues from the George Lucas School of Writing. Oh, and they
Never.
fight.
No.
Are you sure she just didn't have the little plushie thing? The Smarty Pants?
That would be a good motivation to fight, but
They use the swing sets as a lasso to pull her down to the earth so they can jump on her. This is not Smarty Pants.
but
Oh, I did do a Smarty Pants story. That one wasn't cute either.
but
I don't know what I'm doing up here. Which is just a general statement. It has nothing to do with the panel itself.
yeah, that concept of innocence, that concept of youth, even because generally we think of that leads to because when you see cuteness, it's how it's interacting with perhaps a not cute world or something that it's never seen before, and there's that sense of wonderment, that sense of imagination, that sense of you think a puppy is cute when it's barking at its own reflection in the mirror because it doesn't know it's another dog. It's not another dog. Or that, which is cute because I don't understand it.
I wanted to put a pony on my head.
Joyous body surfing blossom.
But yeah, and so from that, it's like cute is hard to define, and usually you know it when you see it. Not to relate it to something else, which I can't mention because this is a PG convention. But saying that is
I get it.
Mhm.
that took you too long.
It did.
Second.
But with the kind of idea of what defines cute, you know what you think is cute, and generally other people will think what you think is cute, and what you don't think is cute, you won't think is cute. Because some people will think those little Chihuahua dogs are cute. I think they're little rats.
If I can step on it and not notice, it's not a dog.
But
It's not
it's like
fact.
it's
No,
like
it's not just an
as
effect.
we've said.
The difference of
but it was
not
cute
cute
though,
to
right?
cute.
It's like we have visual aids without a projector. That's how hardcore we are about this fluff. But and speaking of fluff, Fluffle Puff. I think we can all agree that's cute. Yes, because there's a childlike wonderment. There's something we don't understand.
There's a lot we don't understand about her.
Yes. There's pink. There's
Marijuana.
She's probably going to destroy everything.
Her connection
Well-
is something typically not cute, which is chrysalis.
her
Okay,
connection to
Chrysalis
something.
is adorable.
Her connection to something decidedly not cute and that weird sister of hers.
Oh, yeah.
The marker from Dead Space.
Yes,
Yeah.
whatever that is. Yes.
I've never seen any Flufflepuff stuff, so I can't say.
I am surprised you haven't.
I saw one, all right?
We'll have to have a session in the hotel room. But
Whoa. I'm about to be married, Penny, so, I mean, just saying.
moving on.
I torture him so badly. I really do.
You live for this convention where you can torture me so badly.
I do.
But with all that said about what makes cute, then it becomes a question of how can you use cute for your story? How can you use cute to bring your story to another grand level where it's got fluff? Well, it can't all be fluff, as we said before. There's something, but it can be something. The fluffy can be reflective, which is like, yes, it is a mirror cloud, because the innocence and cuteness of one character can be used, at least for example, some examples, as a foil of what is going on in the world. I think a good example of a cute character in a very not cute world, even though I haven't really. Were you saying something?
He is pink eye.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was getting into. Is Pink Eyes, which is a Fallout Equestria story, which is this really cute character in what is a really horrible story context.
For my end, that one, Joyous Blossom, I use the cute character as sort of a breather, almost, because the previous story and a half had been about a rarity consistently in her basement over a prolonged period, making ponies unalive, and just the fallout of that in the sequel. But I use cute little Blossom there, who's Sweetie Belle's daughter, as sort of like a breather. Like, we've gone through
A
all
pressure
of this.
valve.
Yeah, we've gone through all this terrible stuff, but here's this cute little innocent filly who doesn't know about any of that, and life is gonna be okay now because she's here. Of course, then I use that to ramp the horror up even more. But
She's still a cute character.
she's still a cute character, but I use her largely to just sort of, okay, let's relax a bit. Let's enjoy seeing how cute Blossom is, so that we can kind of disconnect from the reality of the world that I've put her in.
See, I try to go the other way. I don't really like writing dark fics. No offense, I love your fics. Seriously, they're awesome. But I more go with mischievousness or sad to
And that
ingrain the fluffy. Like in my story, Princess Celestia, you have Belly Button. It takes place in Twilight's very last day of magical kindergarten, where her teacher decides to have her little ponies find out what all ponies have in common, and finding out, and one of the little students blurts out that they all have belly buttons, and that has Twilight thinking about how different Celestia may be from them, and being nervous to ask, but finally coming to the point where she does, and it has a good ending. But it has a sad bit too, with it being Twilight being teased and having her final day at kindergarten before moving on to being Celestia's student full time.
Of course, as we all know, Philly Twilight is cutest Philly Made 6.
Yes.
I don't
Easy.
know. I argue with the Applefoot or Applejack. It's hard. That's at least
She's not a filly though. She's full.
She's a full,
okay,
but
Twilight-
Made 6 Philly,
Twilight, full Applejack. There you go.
okay.
Easily Twilight.
Easily
Cutest.
But yeah, for Foals Errand stories, the cute is the main factor, but it's used to expose something about either that character's young insecurities, or even the insecurities, or just to cause trouble for a comedic effect to a more mature character. And that's kind of one of the core concepts: is you need the other you need the other side of the coin. With Tiny Twilight Tales, am I saying that title
Yeah.
right? That little filly Twilight is terrorizing Celestia, and that's funny.
Celestia puts a bell around her neck at one point.
And probably gets more annoyed by hearing ding ling 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 ling.
Oh no, Twilight gets fed up with the bell, and she winds up trying to freeze it off and winds up freezing herself. So Celestia walks in and sees Twilight frozen solid.
That's what I would do if someone put a bell around me. That's what I have done.
Cute. It's like cute is good for context. I guess that's the best way to say it for all of these things. Is cute is good for context of either it shows how wrong the world is, or how right the world, or how bad the world is. It is a context of this world looks really dark, but that's because we're looking in a very dark corner. There is other parts of this world that are still bright and happy. Or it is the context of Celestia doesn't usually have to deal with this, and it's hilarious seeing her have to deal with this.
Hey, you got to remember the last time she had Cadence as a filly, but Cadence was like
Older.
11 or so when she started living in the palace, and then before that it was Luna. So.
And back then, even if Celestia herself was not that mature when she and Luna were growing up, if you prescribe to that theory that they grew up together, that was the headcanons panel, but you are not doing that anymore. But if you're prescribing to the fact that they grew up together, then that's a cute picture too, just because there's also varying levels where Celestia's cute, but she's starting to grow out of her cute, and she's just going into marehood, so she's beautiful now. That's the thing, is like you don't call... You call the person you love cute, but if you're commenting on something, it's like, she's cute, no, she should go beat it, or something like that. But, so, moving on, if my phone will unlock, because that's where our outline is. So we something is like, because it's a story, and because it's hard to sell someone that something is visually cute in a story. We've already kind of defined that. So then the question becomes, how do you describe cute's actions? And the best way to think of that is, what motivates cute? And I'll let the others start for that one.
I mean, sometimes you just have cute just to have cute.
Well, no.
I mean, like,
No. That's your motivation for putting cute in. How do you get your head to defining what is cute's motivation? What is the cute character's motivations that make their
why
actions
did you
cute?
say that?
I did. You weren't listening.
No.
Oh
You go back on my head.
But now that you do know the question, would you like to answer?
What was the question? I live for this. And I'm about to die for it, too.
Yeah, I do. Okay.
You go on.
So, after the episode where we find out that Twilight is afraid of quesadillas, I had to write something for that. So I did a Tiny Twilight episode where the chef was experimenting with stuff from Mexico. And he makes Twilight a sweet pepper salad and a quesadilla. Twilight takes a bite of the quesadilla and can't get the cheese to stop. And she grabs it with her hooves, and she gets the cheese stuck to her hooves, and she pretty much fights the cheese until she's stuck to the wall.
For her, this is not a cute situation.
So that wasn't a cute. That was a terrifying situation for a 4-year-old.
But at the same time, it's cute for us to watch.
It's adorable. But for her, it was a terrifying situation, and she's crying and stuck to the wall when Celestia comes and finds her and has to literally cut her loose with scissors. And they go into to talk to the chef, and Celestia asks him not to make that for Twilight anymore. And he's worried because obviously he wants to make sure there's nothing that she was allergic to or anything. And Celestia said it didn't agree with her, and she turns around, and Twilight's on Celestia's back, and she's half-shaved, and most of her mane and tail are missing, and she's rocking back and forth, and she says the very now famous line, "So cheesy." So that's a situational cuteness. It wasn't cute to the character, but it's cute to everyone that reads it, and I had many people that said, okay, that is now why she's afraid of quesadillas.
And that's definitely an example of the motivation being not necessarily the players I say player because I'm a game programmer. The character is making a choice, but the character is inexperienced. So they're making her motivation simply is like, oh, I want to eat this delicious thing. Oh my God, it's not stopping. Oh my God, I want to stop. And then it just kind of evolves where sometimes the motivation can be curiosity, or the motivation can simply be I don't know where I was going to go with my next example, so I'm just going to go back to curiosity.
Nyx is trying to survive in the bushes, and she's still adorable.
Yeah, but that's more inexperience of realizing she's not in the bush.
Sure.
She thinks the whole world is just thorny bramble, because that is a lack of inexperience of the fact that she doesn't know that it ends. But curiosity can be, and like the situations I'm sure have happened with your character, where it's like, oh, I see something or I hear something that makes me curious, like, and so or actually, does Celestia have a belly button? I remember reading that. I don't remember the exact events.
You have it on your favorites.
Oh, yeah, there we go. But it's like she does not. I don't think we call her outright asking Celestia, but if she did, then we're gonna pretend she did something else where she's trying to stare at Celestia's belly. And that's adorable, but also confusing to Celestia. It's like, why are you staring? It's like, belly buttons.
Well, what happened is she's actually not paying attention to her lessons, and Celestia has never seen that with Twilight before. So she asks her, and Twilight says, well, it's silly. And Celestia asks if she tells her something silly, if she'll ask the silly question. And Celestia reveals that she can't cook or bake. And that's why she doesn't roll around like a ball. In fact, she's been banned from ever entering the palace kitchen.
Oh.
It's your turn.
Yeah, I thought I had
Yes,
some, but I
that's
had
it.
some, but I lost it. I'll get it eventually. Well, I'll just have to sit here and wait until I do.
Well,
You can move on.
You try explaining scorpion ponies.
Oh yeah. So that's right. I did do that. So in my story, The Prince, which is about a human and equestria character, it's a sequel to a story about a human and equestria character who, instead of Twilight, ascends to become an alicorn, whom I then eventually ship with Celestia. And during an assassination attempt, he magically overloads near his pregnant secretary, and he creates a new race of ponies called scorpion ponies, which is exactly what it sounds like. They're ponies,
With
except
scorpion
they have
tails?
scorpion tails and like the sort of cat eyes that the bat ponies have, and their horns are slightly curved, and I think they're cute.
So kind of a changeling scorpion pony mix.
Roughly, except the scorpion ponies can detect when a changeling is around them, and being scorpions, they see insectoid things as prey, and that gets gooey.
Big gooey. It's like, oh look, honey, the kid's hunting his first bug. Let's watch. And other parents are going, oh god.
Mhm.
Oh. And that's the one other thing to be said about cute is very contextual and to personal tastes.
It's in
So-
the eyes of the beholder.
Yes, just as beauty and what is too bloody and all and the way people like their steaks cooked. But
Well, it's green blood, so it doesn't really count. That's what Hollywood taught me.
but
It has decor, it doesn't count. Got it.
But to go on to an example of how cute is, give my example of cute, which is of course likely Nick's, since I don't got anything else.
5 years, by the way.
Yes. I'm trying to think which situation do I want to use. there were some.
She's bouncing around with the Cutie Crusaders cape with the kazoo.
Oh yeah, that's always good.
That is a good moment, but I think I'm going to go another moment where I'm going to give an example of cute through inexperience, where Nyx is making the reveal about her true nature to her friends, and she's very anxious about it.
Oh yeah.
Doing it very slowly, kind of going, "Oh, they're not going to like me anymore. I'm going to be," and then it's completely fine, but it's absolutely adorable that she's worrying that much, because that's kind of what that's one other thing cute, especially cute children, tends to do, is they will blow a situation out of proportion. All right, I lied to my dad, and he's not going to love me anymore, and the world's going to end, and I'm going to have to live in the,
Sounds like
the basement.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience here.
No, I'm just a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his dad actually put him in the basement.
We don't have a basement.
Well, that meant fine. Worse.
Dig a basement for me to put you in. I've also found that you can use cute to really tug at the heartstrings.
Oh yeah.
An example is Blossom. I mean, Blossom is my go-to cute character because
Everything else is dark. It's like the candle in the night.
Yeah. Blossom and Comet, but Blossom has been around longer. So there's a scene where Blossom has recently made 2 classmates unalive, and her mother, Sweetie Belle, takes the fall for it. And so Blossom and Sweetie Belle Blossom sneaks into Sweetie Belle's jail cell, and she says, "Mom, I did it. Why are you doing this?" And she said, "You gotta lie, Blossom. You gotta lie." It's like, and Blossom thinks about it and says, "Will bad things happen to me if they find out? Will they execute me like they did Aunt Rarity?" So childish mispronunciation of execute, showing she still doesn't. I mean, she understands that the situation is grave, but she can't fully wrap her head around it. I mean, she's like 7 at the time. And yeah, that got a lot of reactions from in the comments of, it's adorable, but it's really sad.
And that is one other thing is like you can even put a character through a not adorable situation, and that is if you've gotten the audience to care about that character particularly well, that will destroy. Chapter 10 of Past Sins, where anyone who care about spoilers? Yes, no, speak your piece. It's 5 years old. I'm giving this last warning for a last time. Okay, here we go. Nyx, of course, has been spending the first part of the book. Oh, she's happy. She's living in Pointerville. It's like there's an adoptive relationship going on with her and Twilight. And then here comes Celestia. What are you humming?
I don't know.
Isn't it cute?
It's actually a little scary. But she comes to take Nyx away, and Twilight, trusting Celestia almost more than her own instincts, doesn't do anything to stop it. And it's that horrible betrayal you put a cute character through that can scar them for life to a degree. And we actually see something like that in the show. It's a little over-dramatized, and so I have my own variations in my head where it makes more sense, but Starlight Glimmer, with her motivation for equality and all that stuff, is kind of that childhood innocent betrayal where she believed that this cutie mark made her lose her friend, and so it becomes a betrayal of that whole concept to her, and that kind of skews her view the whole other way. And we actually kind of had it's like the second verse, same as the first in that with the episode today, but it's like, very good, please watch it if you haven't, and...
Look,
No,
in the end, it's
spoilers.
revealed that like 5 of the main 6 have been like dead for years or something like that. I mean, it's there. I spoiled it.
No, you're lying. You are a horrible liar.
That would be the
You
best.
really are.
I am not. I am not a horrible liar. Okay.
Okay, you're a horrible sucky liar. There's an extra adjective. I gave you the
There
extra
we go.
adjective you needed.
Thank you. I've also found that cute.
That was cute. Luna,
Uh-huh.
you're so cute.
Little Luna.
You're
I've also found
so
that cute
adorable.
can be like going back to the darkness of cute. Can be a reminder of what a character was. Like a cute character can be like a mirror almost into the past. So in book 3 and 4 of the Rarity series, where she makes ponies not alive anymore, especially book 4, where Blossom is a consistent do not make ponies alive anymore character. Blossom has a half sister named Comet, little Pegasus pony, probably like 6 years old or something. And Comet is often used as sort of like this is what Blossom used to be kind of character. She used to be innocent. I had something on.
It's like it doesn't have to be another character always. It can be mementos from the past that make you think of the character, especially if the reader has in your story series seen the character when they're younger, because it makes them bring up their own memories of those own past events. And that's kind of what Past Sins is a condensed form of that, because even though it happens in a 3-month time span, Nightmare Moon / Nyx, Nightmare Nyx, whatever you want to say it, spends half of it as a youth and half of it back as Nightmare Moon, and it becomes a foil not only for the audience but for her of, I have all the memories of before I had that little amnesia reset. I was mad and angry. I'm supposed to be mad and angry, but I kind of liked the happy family lovey time better, and that becomes her driving motivation. Is that moment where she could be that happy, could have that innocence, could be the cute, kind of helped water down the angsty angry that she was portrayed as.
And I remembered where I was going. By having that secondary past cuteness almost, it can often raise the stakes for the story. The character who used to be cute interacts with the character who is now currently cute and goes, I have to preserve this because I've seen what happens when the cute gets violently taken away, when the cute gets a hard dose of reality. I can't let that happen to this cute character. I have to preserve the innocence.
And that's actually an interesting thought about cute is generally as especially young characters mature, the cute goes away increment by increment, but if it's done right, if it's a healthy maturation process, those are small dozens of small increments that take them into adulthood, where the situations that are described by Brony Writer for his story, and I actually use in Past Sins as well, or the cheese incident for Tiny Twilight, is a single violent cut that leaves a scar.
Yeah, I did also Tiny Twilight Tales, but I did a co-author chapter with Jumbled Thought using his Wraith Twilight, which is a different version of Twilight from a different alternate reality, and she comes to see what she calls her most adorable self, to kind of look back at what she was. And that's kind of an example of the difference between...
That's the in that case, that's the whole point of the story.
Yeah.
Is that kind of staring into the reflection or staring into the abyss, and the abyss stares back and goes, oh, yeah.
Yeah, and little Twilight obviously still sees herself in this Wraith and wants to do everything she can to help her, and vice versa.
It's like, you're scaring me. We need to put glitter on you. That'll make you less scary.
Actually, she gets her to try to eat a cookie. That's the whole thing. Twilight will not let the Wraith Twilight leave until she can figure out how to get her to eat a cookie. It's very cute.
And that's another aspect of cuteness that you can actually apply is childhood stubbornness.
Yeah.
When you're the parent, it's annoying. Someone watching from the outside, it's hilarious. And it's cute. It's like, oh, I got one. I want a red one. They don't have one, but I want a red one.
He's speaking from experience.
Was this yesterday?
What makes you think it was yesterday?
Because I saw you at the con store.
Yeah, but I bought everything I wanted at the con stores.
Not everything. I want a red Fluttershy, you said. I just looked back and went,
The lies again. And again, we're providing you a prime example of what's funny and cute about it, because you think this is all some adorable, weird comedy routine, and he's driving me nuts.
I'm just in the middle of it. So.
A buffer.
On the buffer, yeah.
Yes, because he'd be on the floor already.
So you're not the architect of all this?
Actually, she is, because she put us both on the same panel. I can now officially blame you.
we're roommates, dude.
But that's private tormenting. I can ignore you then. I can't ignore you right now. Because these other people are hearing it. If I don't respond, they go, why isn't he responding?
Oh, don't worry, we all believe everything you say anyway.
I'm a good actor.
So.
Yes, that's
Okay.
what makes you. That's what
Ouch.
makes you a horrible liar. You're good at lying. You have that straight face of lies.
Look at this straight face of lies.
I'm gonna have the Applejack liar face.
Any questions?
Yeah, it's like I kind of hit all the points we wanted to hit, and so we might as well shift into QA a little early. And since that generally leads to much more thoughtful discussions than us just talking at each other, so
And be annoying him.
So when are you guys getting married?
he's already betrothed to someone else. I found that out.
Actually, I, not to him, not to her, not to anybody in this room, but I met a woman, Danae, in high school when I was a freshman and she was a sophomore. 2 years later, we started dating. 3 years ago, I proposed, and July 29th of this year, we'll be married.
Everybody together.
I hope that answers your question.
It's gonna be a bloody murder cake, isn't it? It's gonna be like a white vanilla cake with all the red, gory Hollywood
Actually,
fake
you
frosting.
should see what we got for the bridesmaids and the groomsmen's gifts.
Zombie brains.
Oh, damn.
Knives.
Nice.
Knives, like
Yeah, that's perfect.
like Bowie knives.
Wait.
Because why not?
They're gonna help cut the suckling pig, I guess.
You had a question.
Yeah. Do you have maybe each of you like your own personal example of like the most powerful use of cuteness in like fiction or media in general?
I have one example of where cuteness kind of destroyed an author, and that would be Rob Cakrin and his My Little Dashie.
Oh God, yes,
yeah.
yes.
Because that is
That's the,
weapons grade cute.
but
and-
that's all anyone ever wants to talk to him about, and he hates the story now. Absolutely hates it.
I did a review of My Little Dashie.
And it's like it spawned so many other spin-offs.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
So
it
many.
became the Cold War. Who can reproduce the weapons grade cuteness again? And then there came the spin-offs, which were trying to make fun of the weapons grade cuteness, like a Diamond Tiara one that I think was in the convention contest circuit.
I did a My
There's
Little,
the My
I did a
Little
My Little
Christie.
Dashie fic.
Mhm.
I did a My Little Dashie fic. That one was it was
Not your
TD
rare.
and rarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did two of those actually. But I think My Little Dashie is actually an interesting thing to bring up because it is very often the epitome in our fandom of cute fan fiction. And I think the biggest problem with My Little Dashie is I think the author spends so much time trying to make Dashie cute that he forgets the story part.
Well, yeah, no, and that's the thing is like, and that's why Rob Cakrin kind of hates it so much. Is he made it such unadulterated cute, and so many people latched onto it because it also was kind of like it's kind of a little like
Wish fulfillment.
wish fulfillment.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like that's what when cute gets dangerous is when it's wish fulfillment. It's like I wish for a puppy. Yay! What happens when it poops?
Not to mention, the cuteness also took away from who Dash is. Who is
Yeah.
she going to be now that she's back in Equestria? She's still going to be the same pony, or is she going to completely be different? Most likely, she's going to be completely different.
Well, she got a memory return,
True.
but it's still that kind of it'll have an effect.
Yeah.
It's like she has diabetes now because she was cute so long.
Me. I'm trying to think. I'm going to let you go first.
I gotta think too.
It's like I took the best example.
Epitome of cute character, and it can be any media, not
Yeah,
just
sure.
Any media.
Okay, all right. I've always found like non-traditionally cute things hilarious. And the only example that's coming to my mind right now is Markiplier and Tiny Box Tim.
Where he injected the cuteness into a little tiny cube in a game.
Yes, yeah, that's pretty much all that happened. He just saw this box and went, "This is cute. Oh my gosh!" And he latched onto the box and named it Tiny Box Tim. And now Tiny Box Tim is this huge thing on the internet because he's so cute with his little stubby arms.
Personal companion. Huh?
Yeah, except without a failed test subject in it. Portal's older than Past Sin.
Yeah, it is. If you
I know it
haven't-
is
if you
because
haven't-
I wrote the secret. My first fan fiction in the community was my Portal crossover, and that was when Portal 2 was coming out. So
Okay, I'm going to reach back even further than both of them, and I'm going to go into anime for my example of where cuteness destroyed from Sailor Moon. And I'm going with Chibi Chibi.
Yeah.
Chibi Chibi really, she was just not right for the part. She's just this confusing little thing that's there. And
Little ball of sugar.
yeah, she's just a ball of sugar. She's just cute, and there's no real reason for her to be there.
And she doesn't talk.
She doesn't talk. She says, "TV, TV." And that's it. And she causes a little bit of mayhem, and then she dies. So that's where I'm going with. I'm going with Chibi
But
Chibi.
she dies in a cute way.
Yes, she dies in an adorable way.
You gotta remember. She
She dies and becomes a sword, which isn't used. So she died for no reason.
Well, it
Weird
needs to
show.
block another sword, and then it shatters. And
True.
that's her death.
True.
I'm trying to think.
But yeah, that's my answer. Chibi Chibi. Chibi was fine. She had a reason. She needed to be there.
And she was the bratty cute.
She was the bratty cute. Chibi Chibi's just this sugary thing that if you read the manga, you get extremely confused because supposedly she's Sailor Galaxia's starseed, who is in fact the future incarnation of Sailor Moon, and so I guess
All sorts of
she's
random stuff just to
But the metaphor you use in there is actually interesting. Is that when we're saying being destroyed by cute, the story can be destroyed when it's too much cute, and the author can be destroyed if they write a story that's too cute, because it is a ball of sugar.
Yes.
No one just eats a ball of sugar. Or
I
if you
did as a
do, I would like to watch
As a
and
kid.
see your
As a
face while
kid.
you're doing
No,
it.
don't do it.
I'm not. My
But you don't just eat it; you suck on that. That is a very delayed sugar, but it's a lot of sugar, but it's very delayed. But
yeah, my husband doesn't allow me to eat marshmallows anymore because I literally bounce around the room. So
yeah, it's like sugar is best when it's baked or mixed into something else to bring out sweetness, but it has other complexities to it. So cooking is actually a very good.
Symbolism.
nice.
Yes, cooking is a good metaphor for how to bring out the fluff.
Yeah.
Especially if you're talking about meringue pie, because it's got that fluffy meringue.
And then you burn it.
Exactly. And then you
Which is
try
what
it.
I do.
That's his job. He cooks it. I put the fluff in. He cooks it and then he burns it. There you go.
Gleefully.
To a charred blackness of his soul.
And in terms of where cute makes it not work, I think when cute is distracting.
Oh yeah.
Like, hey, here are these characters that are all trying to get something done, and then there's cute, and it's just like, yeah, you really don't fit here because like there's something like that we need to
It's
get done.
kind of probably like the reason that Babsy was only ever in one episode. She just didn't really add much to it. You know, you got the Humor Crusaders, and then you had Babsy, and she became a Crusader, but then never did anything again.
Oh, she was for the Apple
Trying
Family
to
reunion.
think.
Yeah,
because-
but she didn't have any notes or.
visual in my
No, she
mind.
spoke in Animal Family reunion.
Yeah,
She
she
did.
did.
That
Hey, how
was-
you
that
doing?
was
Oh,
her-
that's right,
that
that's
was her
right.
guest appearance,
That's
and then she vanished off into the mist.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, got a giant apple piece of scissors and now they
She was referenced a few times.
She has been referenced a few times, but they even kicked her out of the TMC.
It's actually a good thing where it's like you can also use cuteness to accentuate the evilness, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
comic series does this really well for the Chrysalis arc.
Oh,
The
you
first Chrysalis arc.
Yeah.
And I've actually, so the very first arc of the MLP comic series, Chrysalis gets kicked out, and it's like, this is very early on in the series, so if you do want to read it, it's not too spoilery, but she's out of Equestria, her hive needs to rebuild, and they land in the pinkest, fluffiest.
It's these all these little kitty creatures, and they're holding signs and saying, "We love you.
Love you.
We love you."
And Chrysalis sucks them dry and decimates their culture.
And then
And-
she kidnaps the Cutie Mark Crusaders, and that doesn't end well for her.
But it's
But then that's because there's a difference between lovely little sugar balls just waiting to be sucked and sugar with a large dose of tartan
Kick.
spice.
Sugar with a kick.
They drove her insane because they kept repeating everything she said.
But
Yeah,
yeah, that moment, and it's like, I think there's another moment where Chrysalis grabs probably one of the last cute creatures, and all we get is a crunch sound effect as the Cutie Mark Crusaders look on horrified.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so it's an example. It's like cute can be used if it's used in that really unadulterated like sugar ball form as a reflection of this is how bad this person is, because this person is basically kicking a puppy or shooting a puppy, or that's a game. Don't shoot the puppy.
Yeah. Don't you?
What's this dog called?
That dog needs to go down.
That dog's not cute. That's the thing.
That dog laughs at you. That dog needs to go down. How many of us tried to shoot the dog?
But you also gotta remember, it's not actually a dog. When you look at it, it has
This
hands.
is true.
It's just a guy in a dog suit.
I still wanted to shoot him.
So basically, you're going
Dogs don't
hunting
have
with the
hands,
dog
the
from The
world is
Shining.
not fun. How do you know that your character isn't a dog with hands? You know, maybe that's what you are too. You know, you're just not running with nothing.
Okay,
Some poor souls.
I'd like to
But
point
do
out
we have
that
any other questions?
yeah. So, or rather more an example of the uses of fluff. Alright, as everyone grows older, there are things that we program ourselves to believe about how the world works, right? It says, and we think when somebody younger than us comes along and says, I'm going to try doing this, and we go, oh, that's so cute. We know it doesn't work. And they walk over and they unlock the door, and it's like, oh my. We've gotten so cynical that we miss the obvious.
Oh yeah, that definitely happens quite often with cute characters, especially younger characters, because
They don't know any better.
they don't know any better, so they're able to do it.
They're prone to try where others would think it's like, okay, we got to break into this fortress, to use your door metaphor. It's like, okay, you're gonna go up the window, you're gonna spy on the guards. It's like, I'm gonna try the door. Okay, you go try the door. It's open.
Like- Anyone else?
I think they're also very much, I don't know if we touched on this, probably did, but there are different types of cute, and like ingredients in cooking, just like there are different
Types of sugar.
Yeah.
You got to know when to put them in and where.
Powdered sugar versus conventioners.
Yeah.
Conventional cane sugar versus brown sugar versus
Sucralose
No,
for diabetics.
Yeah.
Molasses.
Versus like the sweet and low stuff. Although, do you know, as a man from Colorado, I can make this joke. Do you know what happens if you put marijuana in a packet of sweet and low? You get sweet and high.
I'm from Washington State, so I can make that joke too.
Yeah.
Okay, but
You mentioned it before about kind of having a cute character grow up, not in the more traumatic way, but slowly over time. Is there a good way to do that?
Generally, you have to have a fic that's going to at least spread over that time frame, and that can be because of the story's long enough to condone that, or a time skip. This actually makes me think of Young Justice. As a series, it originally was planned to be much longer than 2 seasons, and then they got the word, guess what, season 2 is your last season. So they had a choice of either just doing the original plan season 2 or trying to condense and everything, but they chose the route where they made it, they pretended the other 3 seasons or 4 seasons that they had planned still happened, and the last season was still the last season as it would have been. And you get this very dramatic comparison of getting to see how different characters grew up and how they lost their cuteness. A prime example of that is Miss Martian, Megan. She is very innocent, very off-worldy kind of. All of her mean behavioral patterns are based off a very bad sitcom at some point in time called Hello Megan, and she uses the catchphrase and everything, and she's adorable like that. And in the second season, she is a lot darker because she's grown up, she's doing things, she will destroy someone's mind to get a kernel of information, leaving them a slobbering husk. And she actually does this to one of her friends by accident.
I also think that,
But it provides that contrast, especially since you as it's like that becomes a contrast that no one in the show makes, but you as a viewer get to make because you get to see the two, especially in such stark contrast.
it's hard to have a character actually grow up in a story. Normally it's difficult because you have a character and they're so old, and then by the end of the story, it's usually only been a week or like with Nick's 3 months.
The timeline of Past Sins was approximately like half a year.
Yeah.
It's like there was a 3 weeks of the actual Nightmare Moon occupation, but there was the school year, the part of the school year before that, and the beginning of the summer sun, and everything kind of is culminating before that year's summer sun celebration. But it's like the trouble is you have to either do it in a very condensed format where you're time skipping a lot, or otherwise your story is pretty darn long if you're trying to get that sense of them actually growing up. And sometimes you can do that it's like, maybe if it's your first fic ever, you want to just kind of do the journal entries or the very quick jumps where it's like you spend 1,000 words on every year of this character's life, and they're kind of it's like every birthday. But
I mean, if you're gonna do something like that, I've read a few stories that did that way. A lot of the time, one of the best things to do is actually a few time skips at the beginning and maybe a little bit longer one to show them like several years later. You don't want to necessarily draw things out as much, drag things out. You want to make sure that if you don't have a sharp enough contrast, or your scenes aren't all advancing your idea of the gradual loss of innocence, or whatever else you're trying to get across. You want to make sure that every scene is addressing something that you want to be changing something.
And another thing you can do if you're trying to do this is if you don't want to show the progression, just show the contrast. That's the power of flashbacks. And it's something that like the episodes have used to strong context with flashback to see how cute our characters were before then.
Yeah, we get to see them all get their little cutie marks, and we get to see baby Applejack
We get this
for like 5 seconds, a little bit more.
but
Flurry Heart was not cute. Flurry Heart made the same sounds as the demon baby in the South Park Woodland Critter Christmas episode.
She's still adorable. I agree. She's still adorable.
But
She's adorable, but she is
very.
Yeah.
I feel she's very close to being ball of sugar. We didn't get enough of her to be killed by it.
Yeah.
Well,
but
the thing is that that's actually one of the problems with cuteness is if you do go overboard, it's actually possible to end up going out the other side and it end up being kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Instead.
Uncanny Valley.
Yes, it's basically if you try too hard to drive cuteness, it can end up feeling very unrealistic and forced.
It's like too cute is one of the symptoms of Mary's sooness, and I don't toss that around too lightly because it's overused. But it's the thing of is she so cute? Everyone loves her. Not everyone loves cute. Ebenezer Scrooge, before the Christmas Carol happened, did not like cute. He hated cute. He would mortgage cute out to get it into the debtor's prison or something like that.
Another example of things you can do if you're wanting to do a time, like have characters grow up through time, is have sequels. Like Harry Potter is a really good example of this. Like each book is another year.
Yeah.
And you can see when Luna is introduced to when it ends, like she has changed a lot. She's very cute when she's first introduced, and each book continually stays cute until the very last one.
Yeah, I'd like to bring up Luna Eclipse for that. Go from
the show.
The show, yeah, from the episode. We've got the image of Luna at the very end of the second episode, and she's cute and tiny and this. And then we get Lunar Eclipse, and it's like everything's changed completely. She's just totally grown up. She's in her awkward teenage years.
So angsty.
She's gone angsty on them all. And she relearns being cute during that episode. She goes from being horrifying to someone that everyone relates with at the same time, you know.
I wouldn't call her cute.
She is cute.
But you can do things like that. Like I have friends who do fanfics that will break out like 3 different sub-stories for their one story that gives you the background of the character, the like side story of what they're actually writing, and then the ending. They're very short, but they give you just enough information to know this is how she was before this happened, this is how she was during this happening, and this is how she is now.
Yeah, it's like separate stories definitely do that. But that becomes the bloat of that's more words you have to write. Where sometimes you're just trying to get it all in one space. But it's like if you're willing and have the time and have the ideas to write the additional words, you're exactly right. Where it doesn't have to all be in the same story, and it actually sometimes shouldn't be in all the same story because then that's one story's plotline starts going meandering over like a drunk fly.
Another way to show growth is to write a story that isn't done in a sequence, like dun 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 dun. It can be kind of all over the place, and you can go back and figure out exactly when something happened and how much they changed during that time, even if it's just a different chapter.
It's non-sequential, where it's just kind of like, which is kind of all flashbacks all the time. And so I actually want to touch back on one other brand of cute that we haven't discussed, which we'll call the syrup cute or something. and that's this person is so removed and old that you can't be mad at them for being kind of politically incorrect.
Oh, you mean like Granny Smith?
Exactly.
Okay.
Where she is cute. She's horribly wrong sometimes, and it's like my own grandmother does this sometimes, where it's like I've heard her use Japs when talking about someone. It's like, Grandma, that's adorable. You're not supposed to do that anymore.
Yeah.
But it's just because it's like a bell curve. It's like you start out cute,
Then you're not cute, and then you end up cute at the end.
Then you die.
yeah.
Yes.
It's like you at least get to die cute.
Yeah.
Your life is bookended by cuteness.
Yeah. Cute and non-cute.
Possibly people only remember cute.
Exactly.
Question? Yes.
So, cute that has hidden thorns. It's kind of my favorite. So,
I have a good example.
Yes, I do too. I do too. I
first.
like I have wanted to say that I think cute is used best when it's contrasting something, and I think a good example of this is a story by I think Hoopie McGee called A School of Hard Knocks. It's basically the protagonist is this bright pink filly with the yellow mane, and
Cinnamon
she's
Swirl.
really and with the name Cinnamon Sugar Swirl, who is really a gruff 30-something cop stallion from Ponyville who ran through a patch of poison joke. And the joke was to turn him into a bright pink little filly.
That happened in the Fables comic series, actually, where the big bad wolf was turned into a cute little girl. The big bad wolf is a Hard Knocks detective in that series. An example of cute that I know, it's like a thorn book. It's like this is a sheep's and wolf's clothing example, but who here has seen the movie Cats Don't Dance? No? I can recommend it very strongly as a kind of like non-Disney era animation, but basically the premise is that all the animals in Hollywood that do all these animal movies are basically second-rate paid actors. They don't get good things as well. And there's one darling Delilah, I forget her name, but she's supposed to be like Darla Dimple. And she's like, in the public, she's as cute as can be. She's a button. She does all the cutest movies. She kisses babies, and she goes, mwah, and all this other things. And she is horrible. Any moment she's alone or she thinks nobody of importance is watching, she turns into the vilest, most egocentric, power-grabbing, no, you do not get to upstage me as a superstar character you can imagine. And it's wonderful to see. What? Trixie is not even that bad. Maybe she is what Trixie would be if she kept wearing the Alicorn amulet, but even Trixie is not that bad.
I'm trying to think of an example.
So like Finnick from Zootopia.
By the way, let's go. What? Lauren Faust worked on Cats Don't Dance?
Yes.
Oh, I did not know that.
That's probably so good.
Well, I'm pretty sure she probably didn't write for it, but I wonder if she did storyboarding or something. I don't know.
What about the animates? Iron Mouse is extremely cute.
That's a good one. Another Sailor Moon example. I was a big Sailor Moon fan when I was younger. In the Star series, they fight against these villains called the Animates. And one of them in particular, Sailor Iron Mouse, she's this adorable, almost looks like a teenager character. But she is vicious beyond all belief.
She kills one of her allies.
She does. She kills one of her allies, and
Just
she
because.
doesn't even blink.
She had no reason for it. She just ups and kills her. She's like, less competition.
Yeah, but she's adorable. She's got these big eyes and white hair, and she's just so cute. But yeah, that's my cuteness thorn.
And that becomes actually something where you see a lot of those lessons that kind of roll in. Don't judge a book by its cover. Whereas like usually it's this person's really nice even though they may be kind of like Zecora or what is the big horse's name?
Big Mac.
Trouble shoes. Thank you.
Big
Where it's like
There's
they get
too
Mrs.
many-
Celestia.
Yeah, Celestia, Big Mac.
Well, we got to it eventually, but doing that in the inverse can be a really interesting thing that can drive the story. And actually, I can think of another example: the rabbit from Monty Python,
Yeah.
where the knights don't believe the crazy man when he says the beast is there, and all they see is a little rabbit, and then they all die.
Or even
Well,
worse
until
than
the
that,
holy
even worse,
holy hand grenade of Antioch.
even worse than the rabbit from Monty Python, Angel Bunny.
Oh. I have a theory that Angel Bunny is responsible for all the evil in Equestria. It's all because of
I
him.
think it's Gummy.
No, it's Angel Bunny.
It's
It's gotta
Angel.
be
Yeah.
Angel Bunny.
Yeah.
Nightmare Moon worked for Angel Bunny. His whole family's going back thousands of years. That's where all the evil comes from.
But with Angel Bunny, we are actually out of time. So this has been Art of the Fluff. We hope you enjoyed and had a lovely conversation about not only cute things, but cute things that are actually evil things that are actually cute, and how you can just be horrible. And thank you for
What are you looking
coming.
at me for?
Because you do all the
You do
horrible.
all the horrible.
I do.
You do all the horrible. And I will give you Joyce Blossom back.
A fan of the TV series.
Foals Errand and Brony Writer.
Woo!
Come back in 15 minutes because there'll be a writer hangout for basically the rest of the night.
Yeah. I'll be here for a lot of it, I think.
Okay.